U.S. officials to meet with him before he died.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about that. I mean, it's pretty crazy, actually. And obviously, when I saw him, I didn't know that he had less than 24 hours still on this earth. I think it was a great blessing. But I think he's...
So basically, he visits the Pope and the Pope dies a few hours later. Third crazy thing is he visits India in April, and the following day or a couple of days later, I think, a terror attack happens in India. So does this man have some kind of bad juju? I don't know, but that's just the funny stuff. Today we're not going to talk about JD Vance in particular, but his visit to India is definitely something to take note. So what did he do when he came to India? So this is from the Hindustan Times. So Vance asks India to drop non-tariff barriers, buy American energy and defense hardware. Now, what does he mean by defense hardware? So Vance reiterated U.S. efforts to pitch defense equipment such as F-35 combat jets, Javelin anti-tank missiles, and Stryker armored vehicles to India. He wants to sell these things to us. We want to collaborate more, we want to work together more, and we want your nation to buy more of our military equipment, which of course we believe is the best in class. American 5th generation F-35s, for example, would give the Indian Air Force the ability to defend your airspace and protect your people like never before. F-35s to protect your airspace. Guess what? We might need them. Why are we talking about this? He comes in to visit India to ask Modi to buy more F-35 jets. But Modi wants to manufacture everything in India through the Make in India initiative. Institutions like DRDO and Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, they're working together, I guess, to manufacture Indian military equipment indigenously. So look what happened in March of 2025. Goldman Sachs, again, an American investment firm, acquires HAL and Zomato, forget about Zomato, acquires HAL shares worth 281 crores. Goldman Sachs buys 385,000 shares of HAL. When did they buy it? March 2025, just 1 month before the terror attack. So what am I trying to say? It's all speculation. There is no proof connecting these things, but we are trying to connect the dots ourselves and see where it leads to. Now, why does US wants India to buy their planes? Because the USA has a huge military industrial complex. They have companies that produce military airplanes, tanks, missiles, all sorts of stuff. And naturally, their budget for the military or defense is also high. So as you can see, the military budget for the US military in 2024 was almost $1 trillion. And if you compare the US military budget with the next 10 countries put together, including China, India, Russia, all that put together, it doesn't come close to $1 trillion. So US is spending a lot, and if they have to make profit, these companies that are manufacturing the military equipment for the US military, they need to have demand. But the USA is not fighting any wars directly. So what do? They fight proxy wars. And what are proxy wars? Take a look at Ukraine. Russia is fighting Ukraine. Ukraine is fighting Russia. Russia has its own military supply. But where does Ukraine get its military supply from? From the US. That's profit for the military industrial complex. And not only in Ukraine, the US military industrial complex supplies defense equipment to Israel, to other countries in the Middle East, and they also supply F-16 fighter jets to Pakistan. Now, they want India to buy F-35 so that they can keep these companies happy, the defense hardware manufacturing companies. Now, you can say I'm cooking up conspiracy theory here by saying US had any hand in this terror attack. So look at what the Pakistan's defense minister has to say.
You do admit, sir, that Pakistan has had a long history of backing and supporting and training and funding these terrorist organizations.
Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain.
So there you go. What else do you need? The Pakistan defense minister himself is admitting that Pakistan has been doing the dirty work of breeding terrorists for the United States and the West, including Britain. So who is to say the US did not instigate this terror attack that happened in Pahalgam on 22nd April? I'm not saying that's actually the truth, but it's It's speculation. It's an interesting question to ask. Now, why would they do that? Why would they want to do that? Because India is not going to buy the US airplanes just like that. They need a reason to buy that. And what reason do they have? So if there is a conflict between India and Pakistan, and if Pakistan starts shooting missiles at India, then obviously India is going to need more advanced airplanes to combat. So there you go. The need is created. Am I saying US has done some dirty work and that's why India and Pakistan are fighting right now? It's one of the angles and we need to look at that. This is the probable theory. So US wants India to buy US defense hardware. India prefers Russia and make in India. India buys a lot of military equipment from Russia and USA doesn't like that. USA imposes tariffs. So Trump has already imposed tariffs on Indian goods. So it's pressuring India to make a deal. And India lacks urgent need for any new defense. India didn't need any urgent defense equipment until the terror attack happened. USA perceived to create new need for weapons. So what is that need? Terror attack in Pahalgam. And India needs airspace defense now. And the speculative question is, did the USA play a role in this? It's anybody's guess, but we need to follow the money. It's not just a war between Hindus and Muslims or India and Pakistan or about Kashmir. We always need to follow the money. The terrorist who is holding the rifle and shooting people on the ground might think he's fighting for Islam, but whoever is operating him, whoever is sending him to the battlefield might have different motives. So we need to think deeper, dig deeper and find out the truth. This is just one angle. There might be other angles like a Chinese angle. They may want India to suffer because US manufacturers are looking at India as a second manufacturing base because China has been imposed a lot of tariffs by Trump. There are multiple angles or multiple reasons why this terror attack could have happened. Let's stay vigilant and stay awake. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.